Live from the tank here on the campus of the College of Staten Island, New York. CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you into coverage of College of Staten Island men's volleyball. Tonight, it's the penultimate home game of the season for the CSI Dolphins as they get set to battle the York College Cardinals in what will be their final CUNY match of the 2018 season. Welcome once again to the tank. I'm David Pizzuto alongside Mike Babuski. And, you know, Mike, it's been an up and down season for the Dolphins, as it has been since the program started in 2015. The team is 5-12. They're 1-6 in the conference, but they have some things to hang their hat on, and that is, of course, one of the things is the presence of first-year head coach Larry Eng, who's helping to stabilize this young program.
Yeah, you know, Dave, and, you know, one other thing the Dolphins are trying to do is, you know, finish the season with a little bit of momentum. They've now won 2 out of their last 3 matches. They've beat Medgar Evers and dropped one to John Jay, and then, you know, had a nice road trip up to YU this Sunday and swept that match by a 3-0 score. So, you know, again, it's a developing program. It's a young program. It's a program with a first-year head coach, and they're looking to improve and finish out the season strong. And, you know, good competition here tonight against York College. It should be a good, exciting match and a good opportunity for the Dolphins to continue with that momentum that they've built.
Yeah, absolutely. The Dolphins have won 2 out of their last 3, as Mike mentioned, 1 against Medgar, 1 against Yeshiva. They've beaten Medgar Evers twice. Only one of those games counted towards the conference standings, and that's the Dolphins' lone win in the CUNY. So most of us by now know that the CUNY Athletic Conference only has 6 teams that advance to the CUNY Championship. The Dolphins will not be one of those 6 teams. They have been mathematically eliminated along with this York team and Medgar Evers. So the CUNY postseason stage is set. It will not include either one of these teams. But, Mike, the point that you made is most interesting, and that is, what do you have to hang your hat on going into next season? And I'm sure a win here to close out the CUNY schedule, especially here for York College, since they're 0-7 coming in, would go a long way to stabilizing some good positive traction for next year.
Yeah, and, you know, Dave, that's really what you're looking to do. You're looking to continue to build up the program and, you know, get the players excited about, you know, working out all off season long and getting ready for the following year. And, you know, that's something that the Dolphins are certainly looking forward to do. And, you know, like you mentioned, a win, another conference win, their second of the year against York College, could go a long way in helping. And, you know, as you mentioned, Dave, York, another team with a developing program, they're looking for their first conference win of the year. So, you know, it should be an exciting contest between 2 teams of developing programs looking to improve as the season winds down.
Absolutely. So the Dolphins, as we mentioned, 5-12 overall, 1-6 in the conference, and today they face off against York College. York comes in with a record of 4-20 overall, so they've played a lot more games than the Dolphins have, 7 more to be exact, but they are 0-7, still looking for their first win of the season within CUNY conference play. And Mike, before we do a little bit more of introspective look at the York Cardinals, let's take a look at the CSI Dolphins, Mike. For the early part of the season, you know, it was kind of neck and neck who was going to lead this team offensively, but really it's come across pretty impressively that number 3, Christian Dumadag, a freshman, has really emerged as the star attacker on this team. 131 kills, far and away the most attacks on the team. Herman Liu is next in line with 219. But he's really emerged in his first season to boot. You could see the confidence developing in this young man.
Yeah, and, you know, you're always looking for a player to build the team around. And, you know, hopefully Christian will be that type of player for the Dolphins going forward. And, you know, you mentioned earlier, Dave, it's still a program that's in the developmental stage, still a young program, and, you know, a program that's looking for a little bit more size. And, you know, as you go up and down the conference and you look at, you know, teams, especially like Baruch and Hunter, that have really had dominating volleyball teams over the year, that's the type of program that the Dolphins are looking to emulate here. And hopefully Christian could be the start of developing that type of program here on Staten Island.
Yeah, and he's been complemented nicely by more young talent on the team. There is a 3-way tie for the second place on the kills list for the Dolphins. Jay Guao, number 2. Jay is a sophomore captain of this team, which is a great deal for him. Tyrone Diamond is a first-year junior, came to CSI by way of non-athletic transfer. He's got 53 kills. And then fellow freshman Herman Liu has 53 as well. So one of the things you notice, Mike, is that the classes, freshmen, a lot of sophomores, and even the one junior is a first-year player. The Dolphins have senior night on Friday. They're only going to honor 2 seniors in Brandon Lay and Ronald Tisby, but really the attacking front for the Dolphins, all very young and still very much developing.
Yeah, it's something that the program is going to look to build upon. And, both the men and the women's volleyball team have been a work in progress. The volleyball team on the men's side, of course, coming in a couple of years later. But, you're beginning to see some signs and some improvements. And, hopefully it's something that the Dolphins can carry forward here at the end of the season.
Yeah, and when we spoke to head coach Larry Ng, obviously every team wants to win. Every team wants to make noise in the playoffs. But coming into the season, his number one charge, Mike, was just to try and change the culture of the volleyball program on both sides. And he knows that, success on the men's side will breed success on the women's side and vice versa. So, really for a first installation, the women had a down year, win-loss rise. The men are going to do the same. But you could tell that the culture is shifting a little bit. There's more of a year-long buy-in with these teams. You see a lot of the women's players right now with their off-season strength and training regimen really coming out in numbers in the strength and training room that CSI has. So you just get a lot more of that year-round feel with this team.
Yeah, Dave, and the Dolphins have been good even in some matches where they've struggled, and sometimes playing their best game in the third game of 3-0 defeats, and, fighting through to the end and really keeping things close. And, on a lot of nights, Dave, against some opponents, they're outsized, they're out-experienced, but they're in there and they're playing the best that they can as they continue to develop. And, that's really what you're looking for out of a young program.
Yeah, and the Dolphins this season, they're 0-3 in matches that have gone further than 3 sets. So they are battling, and they're hoping that if they can turn the tide and start to win some of those games where they're able to take a set or 2, they can turn that around. And if you look at those 4-set matches, if you will, Mike, if the Dolphins had better success against them, they'd be looking at about a 500 record here. So definitely some things to really hang their hats on, some things to really feel proud of. They're 2-5 here at the Tank at home, and again, if they could win this one here, they could feel pretty good about beating 2 teams within the CUNY. 2-6. Obviously, there's a lot more room for improvement there within the CUNY, but definitely, some steps in which to grow on.
Yeah, and, Dave, we mentioned it a little bit before, but, you want these players to taste a little bit of success and be excited about working out in the offseason and improving as a unit.
Yeah, absolutely. The Dolphins have been good defensively as well. We'll give you some of the statistical leaders. Adil El-Haddad joined the team a little bit late in the season, but he leads the team in assists with 291, obviously the principal setter on the team. Christian Dumadag, who we mentioned, also leads the team in service aces with 22. He's followed by El-Haddad with 15. They usually go 2 and 3 in the order in serving. And then, of course, Jay Guo, the sophomore captain of the team, leads the team defensively with 118 digs. Michael Liang is close behind him with 115, so we'll see who comes out on top there. And then the blocks leader is Tyrone Diamond, who you will see is not very big in stature, but he can certainly get up at the net. 7 solo blocks, 15 assists for 22 overall. So a lot of young talent donning the uniform. They'll all see a lot of action today. We've seen some spurts from players like Shemuel Arthurs, and James Yee as well. Missed a little bit of time, but he's right up there in just about every statistical category, especially blocks and kills. So a good, healthy presence at the net. And, one thing, Mike, that you really can't coach at this level, and you mentioned it right at the top, is size. And the Dolphins, that's where if they do have a weakness, it's right up front. If they don't have a real dominating tall player on the team like most other teams have, and that'll definitely be a focus this offseason for the coaching staff.
Yeah, it adds so much to your game. It gives you the ability to get blocks up at the net, and it gives you the ability to get a lot more kills. And when you have that size up front, and being able to work around that, and you look at the Dolphin roster, and Shmuel Arthur's the tallest player at the team at just 6'2", and a lot of players under 6 feet. And like you mentioned, Dave, you can't coach size. You are the size you are. So that's, again, something that the Dolphins are going to look to continue to improve on as the program continues to develop.
All right, both teams are in their final huddles, Mike, and we might get started here a little bit earlier. So let's take a quick look at York. As we mentioned, they're 4-20 this season, 0-7 in the CUNY Athletic Conference, but they too have a pair of really exciting players at the front of the net. Akil Vaughn leads the team with 139 kills, and then you have Frederis Tapia with 107.
Yeah, and just like the CSI Dolphin team, you look at this York Cardinal team, and they're coming in here tonight looking for their first win in the conference as well. So this actually appears to be the last game on their schedule, Dave, of the year. So they're going to be looking to wrap up their 2018 season with a win. And, they have a lot of freshman players and a lot of senior players on this Cardinal team, Dave. Not a lot in between.
Yeah, 15 on the roster, 9 freshmen, I should say, in total, and a total of 4 seniors as well. So it doesn't leave a lot of room in between. But they, too, are a very young and developing team. Andre Titus Jr. is the coach listed on the program. I don't see him in attendance here. Tracy Marshall, I see, is here for York. And they'll line it up here for the anthem in just a few moments. And, Mike, what we will mention is that York, as we mentioned before, 0-7 in the conference. The Dolphins 1-6. Whoever wins this game will overtake the other in the standings. And the Dolphins hoping to clinch the number 7 position in the conference after tonight.
Yeah, so we're about to have the players introduced out here on the floor, and
we'll step away for the national anthem. When we come back, starting lineup. Stay with us. And we welcome you back here to the Tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island. We are moments away from CSI men's volleyball versus York College. CSI coming in 5-12 overall. The York Cardinals coming in with a record of 4-20, trying to snap a 5-game losing skid. Mike, we have the starters in front of us. Let's give it to our fans at home.
Okay, Dave, first for the visiting York Cardinals, it'll be number 6, Akil Vaughn, number 9, Mambi Coracini, number 10, Adil Manji, number 11, Nico Little, number 13, Akeem George, number 14, Frederis Tapia, and number 8, Kevin Campbell. For the College of Staten Island, number 1, Adel El Hadid, number 3, Christian Dumadag, number 5, Michael Lang, number 10, Taru Diamond, number 14, Herman Liu, number 19, James Yee, and number 6, Ron Tisby.
Yeah, absolutely. So no real big surprises here for either team in the starting lineup. And we mentioned York coming in trying to snap a 5-game skid. They came in having lost to Lehman College in a game that was previously postponed. They fell to Bard. They fell to Hunter, CCNY in their last 5. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed a couple there, Mike. Actually, their last 5 were against Widener, John Jay, Dean College, actually 2 against Dean College, and then Pine Manor they lost in 5 sets. They had beaten Pine Manor earlier in a match 3-2, then fell 2-3, and that's been their 5-game skid. I was referring more to their conference schedule where they've lost, of course, to John Jay, Lehman, and then Hunter and CCNY in their last 4. So definitely trying to buck a trend here, Mike, and finish the right way. You mentioned this is their season finale.
Yeah, and, looking at some common opponents, Dave, both teams lost to the College of St. Elizabeth by 3-1 scores. The Dolphins beat Medgar Evers 3-0 twice. York beat Medgar, or lost to Medgar, I should say, 2-3. Both teams defeated Yeshiva University, the Cardinals 3-1, the Dolphins 3-0, and both teams defeated St. Joe's Brooklyn by 3-0 scores. So just a little bit of a look at the common opponents before the start of this afternoon's game.
And York College 3-7 on the road in true road games this season. The Dolphins 2-5 at home. So both teams looking to build, and both teams wearing black. So we'll set you up. The Dolphins are in their home blacks with Columbia blue trim. They'll be on the right of your screen. York is on the left-hand side. They have the white numbers and white trim on their pants. Liberos will wear white for both teams. And obviously, many of you familiar with the rules, but there will be 5 sets. The winner of 3 sets first wins the game. Sets go to 25. It's all rally scoring, so everything is worth 1 point. If we go a 5th and deciding set, the team that reaches 15 points first wins the game. Of course, all games, the winner must win by 2 points.
Yeah, and, again, the Cardinals coming out, and you can just glance out on the floor and see the decided height advantage, Dave, that the Cardinals have over the Dolphins here. And, it'll be interesting to see how the Dolphins play around that.
Yeah, and that's something that they've grown accustomed to, being the physically outmatched team, at least at the front of the net. But the Dolphins have been able to get up. We mentioned Diamond's blocks this season, and the fact that Dumadag has been able to attack so often from that right side. James Yee is in the middle for the Dolphins. And occupying closely at the front of the net is Little and George for York. First serve of the game is to the York back line. Teed up and hit hard and over everything by number 6, Akil Vaughn. So the Dolphins will have the first point of the evening.
Yeah, that time Vaughn got way under that one. They blasted it back just under the scoreboard for the first point for the Dolphins.
So El Haddad, second on the team in aces, and almost got another one there. York able to keep it alive, but we're going to have an attack error called on number 13, Akeem George. Mike, that right foot went underneath the net.
Yeah, and you could see that the Cardinals, although coming out and having a decided height advantage, still working on their game a little bit as well.
That last one took Tapia by surprise a little bit on the back line. York fields this one a little bit more cleanly. George hits the top of the tape and right back onto his own side. So the Dolphins have opened up nicely here, a quick 3-0 lead.
Yeah, really good start here for the Dolphins as they come out fast. And, it looked like York had a couple of opportunities today, but not able to get the kills that they need. Dolphins off to a nice quick start here in game number 1.
Yeah, and the Dolphins so far with all 3 of their serves have gone to the York left side, or the far sideline, if you will, closest to their own bench. We'll see where Adil puts this one. As he starts from off your screen, comes in, Tapia fields. Bumped up, and now set down. The Dolphins cleanly dig that one out with Liang. James Yee will get a turn, puts it on the front line, bumped right back up, and again over. And that's going to be a kill for number 6, Akil Vaughn, the leader for York in that department. They get back to serve, and they score their first point.
Yeah, that time York able to make a nice play around the net. Dolphins unable to return the point. So the Cardinals get their first point of the afternoon.
So we're at 3-1, and the first serve will belong to Akeem George, the 6'6 senior for York College. Puts one on the back line, fielded cleanly by Tisby, right over, and they play back and forth. getting into that one was George, and we're going to have a point as there was a block error called on the Dolphins. Either way, a kill for York, and now they're within 1.
Yeah, that was a nice block that time by Yee for the Dolphins, but the Cardinals stayed with it and they've closed to within 1.
Yeah, good action at the top of the net there as George continues to hold serve for York. Dumadag with his first attempt. It is returned and has to be played by the Dolphins. Diamond puts one over, bumped up short by Campbell. And there's another kill attempt for York, and that'll end up deep into CSI's bench. So Akeel Vaughn has got another kill for York, and they've knotted this one up.
Yeah, York starting to play a little bit better, Dave, on the last couple of points, getting their passing up in front and a couple of nice moves to score the last 3 to tie it up.
And so it's George once again. Nice clean pass over to El Haddad. Campbell is able to dig that one out. Played on by York and over, and York having problems trying to get it back up. First touch by Tapia, but that will go back to the Dolphins.
A couple of more good plays at the net day by Yee on that last point for the Dolphins. Really was able to get the ball back over the net twice, and we give the Dolphins a 1-point lead.
George out for York, and number 2, Harry Silva, has come in. Campbell, and now Tapia, and off of CSI's defense and out of play, so that will be a point going back to York. And for the second time, they have tied things up here. Now it's 4-4.
Yeah, that was a nice kill that time by Tapia, going up strong, knocking it off the Dolphins' defense to tie the game.
Carisi has checked back in for the libero, number 8, Kevin Campbell. And the service is out of play by Nico Little, so the Dolphins get a free point there via the serve error. And the Dolphins have the lead, which they have yet to surrender here, 1 point. Yee with the serve. Tapia first touch, coming to us. And now Tapia is able to send it over. Dolphins can play it well here, and that one's too far as Herman Liu put one off the sideline. And so York for the third time has tied things up.
Yeah, that was a nice play that time by the Cardinals to go up at the net, Dave, and force the Dolphins to knock the ball wide out on the near side. Actually, it looks like a Dolphin point on the play here, Dave.
Yeah, they said it went off the York defense and out of play, and there's a block attempt that ends up on their own side. So now York will get the point, and they are within 1, 6-5.
Big kill that time by Vaughn. The freshman went up and drove it into 2 Dolphin defenders for the point.
Larry Moore, another one of those seniors for York, has checked into the game. Service from the back line. Nice pass up top. Diamond gets off one. Silva keeps it alive. And York able to send it over into space. CSI Fields. And it is sent, and a kill for number 5, Michael Liang, normally playing that back line. He's able to step up and get into that one. And the Dolphins now have another 2-point lead.
Then, you see Liang going up strong on that one, Dave. Didn't have a lot of size, but able to drill it right into the center of that Cardinal defense for the point.
Tyroo Diamond, first-year junior, sends it up to the back line, and we are going to have a ball handling error by number 15, Larry Moore, as he double-touched that on the set. And it will be 8-5 in favor of the Dolphins here. Bumped up by York, and now Tapia is thwarted by the defense. They get another turn at it. Nice kill and a nice dig by the Dolphins. Liang tries to baby one over, but we are going to have a block error as that one went out of bounds either way. The Dolphins have their biggest lead of the first set. It's 4 points.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, Dave, have now scored 6 out of the last 8 to take a 4-point lead.
Sent on the back line. Campbell controls. Up to Moore. Tapia into open space. Tisby does well to catch up to it, but puts it in out of play. So 9-6. York, last time they found themselves down by 3, were able to tie it early on. Now they find themselves down by 3 again with serve, and this time it's Tapia will be doing the honors. Tapia, another one of those 4 seniors that gets a lot of playing time. Dumadag Fields, El Haddad, Tyroo, Tapia with another dig. Moore sets one up and pounded down, that time by Akeem George. And York now 2 away.
Yeah, that time a nice setup by York, getting it right into the center of the floor. A lot of options on the kill, and the Cardinals get the point.
I mentioned the Dolphins' next to last home game of the season. Their final game will be against Purchase on Friday. More on that between games. Liang bumps it up. El Haddad and Herman Liu got too much of the net that time, Mike. His fist came down on it, and so that will be a point to York, and now a 4-point lead has been cut to just one.
But it was a nice kill that time by Liu. He's just got to keep himself back and avoid making the contact with the net.
So Tapia continues with the serve. He has serviced the last 2 points for York. Liang controls to El Haddad. It's Dumadag off the defensive line, kept alive by York, and in play. Nice job by the Cardinals. Liang puts one up, and it's off the antenna and out of play. Great job by York to stay with that one, and they get the point, Mike. They're fourth in a row.
Yeah, so the Cardinals coming right back, and you got to like the way both teams have come out and played with excitement here today, Dave. Both teams struggling all year long, but still excited to play here at the end of the year.
And a gorgeous serve that just made it over the line and onto the back line. And Tisby could not control enough, and York, for the first time in this match, has a lead. They're up 10-9. They were down 9-5 just moments ago. And Tapia puts that one just off the back line and out of play. So second service error of the evening for York has given control back to the Dolphins, and essentially a 0-0 game with 15 points left. It's Michael Liang. Back line, fielded clean by Rodriguez, kept alive, over by Moore. Here come the Dolphins. El Haddad sends one over. York anticipates. Akil George returned right over, and York cannot control it from there, as that will be CSI's point.
Beautiful dig that time, Dave, by the Dolphins. It looked like the Cardinals were in a perfect position for the kill. Dolphin dig. Gives them a 1-point lead.
Certainly George got all of it. Dolphins were just there in perfect position. Moore sets one up to Tapia. He babies that one over, and it's going to be a point as Tapia with an illegal carry over the net. So the Dolphins once again with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, that one a little close on the play, Dave, but Tapia getting the call for the violation. Dolphins retake a 2-point lead in a good back and forth game number one.
And that one is out of play as that was sent too far down the sideline. So York now closes to within one. They've had one lead in the game. It was 10-9 just moments ago. CSI with 3 straight points, and now York has interrupted that string. Mambe Korisi, the freshman, puts one off of Liang's fingertips. Dolphins now have to scramble to try and get this one over. They do. Rodriguez bumps up to Moore. Akil George, powerful kill, I should say, and that will earn York the point, the tying point, 12-12.
Yeah, you could see that the big game plan is to get the ball into the middle to the big 6'6" senior, and he's able to drill that one home for the point.
George with 93 kills coming into this evening's match, certainly eyeing 100 here tonight. And the Dolphins see that one blocked down onto opposing turf. So they've now regained the lead again, 13-12.
Yeah, that time Little not able to return the ball. It goes out of bounds.
So Herman Liu will do the honors, puts one on the back line. Tapia fields to Moore, and mistimed jump leads York to just scramble to get it over. And now across the way is Dumadag. Nice dig there by Campbell. George teases one over. The Dolphins are able to scramble and get it over, but too far, and York has tied it once again.
Yeah, that was a nice hustle play that time, Dave, by the Dolphins. And look, when they had their easiest touch, they weren't able to make the play. It goes out of bounds, tied at 13.
Adil Manji will now do the servicing. He just came back into the game after being substituted out. Tie game here, and is able to put that one way too far. Third service error for York. That's been one of their heels so far in this first set. 14-13. Seems like every time they get a little momentum, Mike, that's what's been their downfall so far.
Yeah, it seems like Tapia is their best server, and they struggle a little bit when other players go back to the serve.
Yeah, and that time a tough serve to handle by Adil El Haddad leads to a point. as York wasn't really able to get that one over much. Deflected right back down. Once again, right over the tape goes El Haddad. This time it's played clean, and now a heavy kill attempt, but it's too far, and had a play by Akil Vaughn. And for the third time this evening, the Dolphins have opened up a 3-point lead, 16-13 here. Tapia able to field. Now on the near side, and once again a kill put over by Akeem George. And the Dolphins have matched their biggest lead of the first set. It's 4.
Yeah, that time he was a little back far from the net and just put it way back over the end line.
El Haddad. The pass over to Tapia. Set up clean, and that one put down and unable to be handed by Liang. A nice kill there by Vaughn. And once again, York cutting the CSI lead. They've been able to come back from a few of these bigger deficits. Let's see if they can do it now with the serve belonging to George. Tisby plays that one. El Haddad now Dumadag, and he gets all of that one uninterrupted by the York defense. As we have another substitution here as Harry Silver has checked back in for York.
Sorry, Dave. Dumadag leading the team in kills by a wide margin, and you can see why. He came up strong on that play and drilled it cross court for the point.
Dolphins have matched their biggest lead. Jump serve by Dumadag. It's got some spin on it, and it is out of play. And yes, the official have upheld the line judge's call of that being York's point. So 18-15 is our score. Dolphins guilty of their first service error.
Yeah, Dumadag with the lead on the team in service errors, you see, goes for the aces, and sometimes you commit the error.
Nico Little with the serve. James Yee tries a hand on it, sent back by York, and they go over the net that time as Tapia reached over to grab that block attempt. So the Dolphins have once again matched their biggest lead, 4 points. It's 19-15 as starting to get late now here in the first set. Dolphins with control. James Yee with the serve. Puts that one on the back line to Tapia, bumped up by Manji. And Tapia has that one sent back down, but out of play. So last touch by the Dolphins, and York cuts the lead.
Yeah, Tapia's been a very effective player for the Cardinals up at the front. Nice play that time to draw the Cardinals within 3.
Moore replaced Manji for York. Here comes CSI's turn on it now. Diamond is able to put one through the York blockers, and Dolphins now 5 points away.
Nice play that time by the Dolphins. They faked setting up the kill in the center of the floor, got it over to Diamond on the end of the court. He drilled it home for the point.
And Diamond will have the serve as well here with his team up by 4 with 5 points left to go before they take the first set. Campbell's able to play it. Rodriguez, Moore sends one over, dug out clean by the Dolphins. Liang now on the near side. Sprawling dig attempt that time by Rodriguez, but unable to lift it. And we're going to have a timeout here as the Dolphins have grabbed their biggest lead, 5 points.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, as the game starts to roll into the 20s now, a 5-point lead, a big lead here for the Dolphins. It's been a fun first game. It's been going back and forth. The Dolphins would go up by 4. The Cardinals would seem to come right back in and tie it up. But now the Dolphins have opened up their biggest lead, and they have a little bit of momentum here going into the end of this first game.
And you could tell, Mike, because of the concerns of York's height at the front of the net, the Dolphins are doing a nice job of really moving the ball around at the front, attacking from both the left and the right sides to keep York constantly moving.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, they've also done a very good job of anticipating where the kills from the Cardinals are going to go and have been very effective digging the ball out here in this first game.
Absolutely. So the Dolphins with their biggest lead of the game, it's 5 points. York has come back from down 3 and 4 a couple of times in this one. But they're going to need a little bit of a rally here as the bottom of the order, service order, is coming up for both teams. Tyree Diamond, left-handed, puts one over. It's Tapia. Dolphins able to send it back, but out of play. And so once again, York has something to build on here, down by 4, 21-17.
Yeah, nice.
Substitution. Sorry, Mike.
Sorry, Dave. Nice play that time by the Cardinals as that was a big point in the game, Dave, a big swing point. Cardinals back to within 4.
Big too, because it's able to rotate George back into the York lineup at the front of the net. So that's a big turn right there. Herman Liu puts one off the defense. It's able to be corralled by York, but a poor set that time by Moore gives CSI the point, and they're now 3 points away.
Yeah, that's the second time that I believe Moore's been called for that type of violation, Dave, here in this first game.
And that one's a line drive to the back, and that one sent straight over and out of play. So the Dolphins now 2 points away with their biggest lead, 6 points, and that will count as an ace for Michael Liang. And a timeout called by York here as York wants to think it over. York under the leadership of Tracy Marshall tonight, listed as the assistant coach on the team. And the server for the Dolphins, Mike, is Michael Liang. He's another one of those of the many freshman young talents that the Dolphins are hoping to cultivate into a real solid player in future years. He's played a lot of back line play and has done very well, especially defensively.
Yeah, and for Liang, it's only his fifth service ace of the year, Dave, but it comes at a good time here for the Dolphins as they edge to within 2 points of getting this all-important first game here tonight.
Yep, and we haven't seen any of Jay Guo tonight, the sophomore captain, perhaps getting some time off here to let some of the younger players in. Liang puts that one over everything and out of play, so York will get the ball back courtesy of the service error, and we'll see if the Cardinals can do something with this here as gaining service is Carisi. Right-handed serve right to the middle of the court. Tisby fields clean. Tyru Diamond backline attack, and it was tipped, and then number 3, Juan Rodriguez cannot corral it. So the Dolphins are 1 point away from taking the first set.
Yeah, not the most optimal place to put the ball over the net, but good placement by the Dolphins gets them to within 1 point.
Herman Liu looking to end this one here, but Tapia is going to have a turn to send it over. He does. El Haddad puts one right back. Akil George plays it well. Campbell putting it over. Dolphins continue to play. El Haddad to Dumadag, and he puts that one right in front of the back line for York. And CSI has won our opening set, 25-18.
Yeah, nice kill that time by Dumadag to finish off the Cardinals here in game number 1. Dolphins win by 7, 25-18. Good start for the Dolphins, Dave, in this first set.
Yeah, good start, especially, Mike, when you consider the fact that York had come back a couple of times in that first set, and it didn't seem to rattle the Dolphins. They were able to persevere, and they used some costly York errors to kind of build on the lead.
Yeah, and Dolphins did a very nice job in that first set, Dave. They seemed to anticipate what the Cardinals were trying to do. They were very effective at digging the ball out at the net, and they did enough as far as killing the ball at the net to really get themselves off to a good start here and end up winning the first game by 7 points, Dave. It was back and forth in the beginning, but the Dolphins pull away at the end of the first set.
Yeah, so Mike, we kind of teased out the final men's volleyball game of the season finale on Friday, just to go over the last week of the season for the Dolphins. They are home, obviously, tonight against York. They'll be on the road on Thursday against New Jersey City University, obviously non-conference game there. They'll be home on Friday against Purchase, and then they'll finish off on Sunday with a tri-match at Stevens Tech. They will play both Stevens Institute and Hunter College. The game against Hunter will not count towards a CUNY conference game, but a tough stretch there. Hunter and Stevens, two of the perennially better programs in the region, but the Dolphins still with a fair amount of volleyball here left in their final week, and they want to finish strong.
Yeah, and the Dolphins actually took one of the sets against Hunter College here in their match earlier this year, Dave, as they were able to win the third set against Hunter College. And again, you get better by playing teams that are good and developed and strong. And, a nice way, Dave, for the Dolphins to end the season, even if they don't necessarily finish with some wins, a lot more experience for these young players, and experience and being out on the floor and playing games is exactly what they need.
Yeah, absolutely. There are other games going on around the CUNY. Baruch and Brooklyn are tangling, and that's a game that will mean a lot for both teams. We'll try and get an update when we can on some of those games. Unfortunately, Brooklyn and Baruch are not carrying live stats for their games, so when that goes final, we'll get an inclination. But Baruch really controls their own destiny for the number 2 seed in the conference. And Mike, we know just from covering some of the other sports, getting one of the top 2 seeds is very important because it earns you a first-round playoff bye.
Yeah, and how many times, Dave, have we seen in how many sports where a team will make a mistake at the end of the season, drop out of the top 2, and before you know it, they're going home in their conference tournament. So that's something you certainly want to always look to avoid whenever possible.
Or if you're the CSI men's basketball team, Mike, sometimes getting that first-round game turned out to be a benefit. We saw the CSI men have a tie for the 2nd seed. They ended up being the 3rd seed in the tournament, ended up winning it. And a lot of people think that maybe that quarterfinal game, a game which they only beat Brooklyn by 1 point, really served as a good intro for the tournament and gave them a nice head of steam heading in. Although I know you and I especially would have preferred if that game maybe wasn't on the schedule.
Well, the coaches will go both ways. You'll have some coaches that don't want to play because you can't lose if you don't play, and there are other coaches that tell you they don't want to be off all the time that you get when you have a bye. So, I guess it all depends on how you look at things, but I've always looked at it as if you're not playing, you can't lose.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm sure a lot of people would subscribe to that. I don't think it's such a bad mantra myself. Dolphins get the first point here of the 2nd set via the block error for York. And now we have a spirited volley here as Shemuel Arthurs has checked in for the Dolphins. He puts that one over. Dug out strong, and then a nice block there by Arthurs, although I think number 11, Nico Little, got a lot of the top of the tape on that one as well.
Yeah, but, once again, Dave, Dolphins anticipating well, getting in a position to make the defensive play. Good quick start here to set number 2.
And now serving one up, and that time getting it through the CSI defense was Akil Vaughn. And so York has interrupted the 2-0 start. It's 2-1. Dolphins got out to a 3-0 start in the first set.
Yeah, York skying high on that one. Another attempted block that time, but this time the ball goes down on the wrong side of the net.
Dolphins able to play this one. Steven Caruso, and he sees the York defense hit the net on that as we have our first substitution here, as checking in will be Rodriguez for York. Meanwhile, the Dolphins are up 3-1 here. Looked like Steven Caruso's kill would have counted anyway, Mike, for a point.
Yeah, but Vaughn got called for the violation on that play.
Tapia with a heavy kill, kept alive by the Dolphins, but it got held up in the rafters, and it led to an awkward way down. So York cuts it to 1. New faces for the Dolphins in the lineup are Steve Caruso and Shemuel Arthurs. Medgar came out with the same starting 6 on their side of the court, and the service belongs to Nico Little. Liang with an easy bump over to El Haddad. Steven Caruso off the fingertips of York. They were able to control. Tapia will send one down, and did he find real estate? He did. And York has tied its one up at 3.
Yeah, nice cross-court kill that time, going from the near side over to the far for the point. York comes back to tie this game up at 3.
So down 2-0. York has forced a 3-3 tie. Little still controls. Dumadag with the first touch to El Haddad. Liang too strong, out of play. And York has their first lead of the second set, 4-3.
Yeah, that time Liang tried to go cross-court, but it went a little too far on the near side, and the Cardinals take, I think, their first lead of the day, Dave.
Actually, they had a 10-9 lead, Mike, in that first set. Very brief. Caruso sends one over, played by Little, and sent up and straight down by Tapia. Beautiful kill, probably York's best of the evening. And Arthurs got up a little bit late on that one, Mike. Didn't time it correctly to get the block and left the CSI back line a little bit helpless on that one. Liang first touch to El Haddad. Nice pass. Now over to Dumadag. He goes cross court, sent straight back over by York. CSI will do it again. Arthurs teardropping it over. Sent back by York. Nice job by Tisby to catch up. And the Dolphins send it over. Tapia left-handed putback, and he gets that one to fall in CSI real estate. And so York has now officially doubled up, a 6-1 run for the Cardinals, and they're up 6-3.
Yeah, Cardinals playing their best volleyball so far of the early match to take a 3-point lead.
Little continues to control with the serve. El Haddad to Liang, sent back down by York. Great block that time, and assisting on it was Vaughn and Carisi, and York has themselves a 7-3 lead.
Yeah, York starting to build some momentum and starting to effectively play the ball at the net.
And that one is short, and it flirted with the top of the tape there, but it ends up on York's side, so a serve error there, and we'll see if the Dolphins can take advantage. Down by 3. Dolphins will get a substitution in. It's Jay Guo, who will replace Shemuel Arthurs, and Guo will also serve for the Dolphins. He did not play in the first set, but Guo this season, 7 service aces, 9 service errors, puts that one on the back line. Campbell keeps it alive, and Tapia sends it over. Dumadag to El Haddad. Steven Caruso, left-handed kill attempt is sent over but out of play, and Caruso gets a kill. The Dolphins cut the lead to 2.
Nice kill by Caruso. He checked in the second game, has had a couple of kill opportunities, that time able to successfully kill.
Yeah, as Mike mentioned, he too did not play in the first set, and we have an ace here by Guo, his 8th of the season. And just like that, York's 4-point lead is now down to just 1.
Yeah, so the Cardinals went on a 7-1 run, Dave. Dolphins trying to answer back, cutting the lead down to 1.
So Guo will get a running start at this one. Puts it over to the left side. Tapia fields Manji, and sent down, but catching the top of the tape was Vaughn. And so the Dolphins now have officially tied this one up 7-7 after being down 7-3. Another running start for Guo. Tapia with the first touch. Manji back over to Tapia, off the fingertips of the defense. But El Haddad plays. Herman Liu straight back down. Manji kept it alive, and York able to send over. Nice job by the Cardinals. El Haddad to Liu, sent back down, and it's going to be a block error called, I believe, on number 9, Carisi, who does not like the call, but the Dolphins have their second lead of the second set.
Yeah, nice. That was a very close call, Dave, at the net, but the Dolphins able to regain a 1-point lead.
Guo continuing to serve. Manji up to George, and that one set right back down. Excuse me, that was Akil Vaughn. And York gets it back.
Yeah, Vaughn has shown those flashes at the net. He's made a couple of errors at the net as well, but you know, when he goes up high, Dave, and times it perfectly, he has a powerful kill at the net.
Vaughn is the team leader in kills. He had 4 in the first set. Add another one there. CSI will get a chance here. Liang off the defense and out of play, so that's a point for the Dolphins, and they regain a 1-point lead.
Yeah, that time Liang tried to play it down the far baseline and was able to knock it off the Cardinal defender, so the Dolphins regain that 1-point lead.
Caruso, a good server for the Dolphins. That's a line driver to the back line. Dolphins keeping it alive. Nice job by Caruso. Dumadag from the back line with an attack attempt. Moore sends one straight over. Caruso's there. Liang. And that one might have caught the fingertips. No, it did not. It goes straight out of play. And so York able to once again tie this one up.
Yeah, once again, Dave, the Dolphins look to play the ball down the far sideline. This one just a little bit out of bounds.
George has come in to replace Rodriguez for York. It's Tapia with the service, played by Dumadag. El Haddad. Herman Liu is able to really rear into one that time. And off the fingertips of York, CSI gets the lead again.
Yeah, Liu had a kill in the first game and adds another one here in game number 2. Nice play for the Dolphins.
And it will be Liang with the serve. And that one is too short and into the net, so York will get it back via the CSI error.
They kind of shanked that one, Dave, and just you could see it was never going to get up over the net.
Yeah, third service error for Liang of the evening. El Haddad to Dumadag, who has to nurse one over. He does. York able to keep it alive, and a bad set that time by Nico Little will give the Dolphins back the lead. So Both teams really swapping points here against the other team's service. Neither team able to string 2 points together here. And Herman Liu will try and do it for the Dolphins. Campbell, first touch, a good one. Moore across court to George. Puts one over. Liu is in good positioning. Dumadag, heavy kill attempt. Tapia was able to field it. But that one was coming in hot, Mike, and the Dolphins take a 2-point lead.
Yeah, Dumadag once again very effective in killing the ball, and not even from that close to the net, Dave, and drilled it home.
So Liu puts one on the back line. It's going to come down to George, and that one hits Christina Severizio, the CSI lines person. And they actually they're going to say it's off of the defense, and so that point is going to go to York. Misread that one a little bit. Unless okay, now I saw the head linesman make the gesture, Mike, that it was a block error on the Dolphins. One of the CSI blockers went into the net. They didn't have to, as George sent one way over, but York gets a good call there. So 12-11. See if they can use this to their advantage. Shemuel Authors. York puts it right back down, and Adil Haddad couldn't time his jump very well that time, Mike, and York is able to tie the game up.
Yeah, so a big momentum swing, Dave, on that call at the net allows the Cardinals to score the last couple of points and tie it at 12.
And a good serve that time. Just gets over the net. Liang able to control. Campbell with the dig. Manji over to George, and he powers that one down. That's where George is at his most comfortable, Mike, and he gives York a 13-12 lead.
Yeah, York likes to play the ball from the side into the center and play it across court. That time very effectively done for the Cardinals.
So the Cardinals wrestling back the lead. Dumadag blocked down. Dolphins keep it alive, but it is out of play, and it will be York's service here. That was a nice attack by Dumadag, but it was sent right back over. It just gives you an indication of the height advantage that the Cardinals have.
Yeah, that time the Cardinals able to make a very nice block on the play, knocked it off the Dolphins' defense for the point.
It is Manji doing the serving now. Skies one up. Back line for the Dolphins. Dumadag will get it back. He puts it over that defensive line and able to put it into open space, so the Dolphins will get it back. And you know, twice Dumadag had his attacks blocked, Mike. That time he decided to go over the defense and not through it.
Yeah, you know, you don't always have to kill the ball hard. Sometimes you can kill the ball over, and Dumadag did it on that play.
So clean play here from York, and that one is blasted down by Akil Vaughn. He gets himself another kill, and York has, once again, a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and blasted is the right word, Dave. That one was drilled for the point.
That one sent into shallow court, and Dumadag able to post one off the fingertips of Campbell. And so Dolphins down by one as we have another substitution, as Rodriguez will come back in for the Cardinals. He will replace Akeem George. Down by just one. Dumadag gets a running start. Campbell plays it off his chest. York is able to keep it alive. Manji puts it over. Dolphins able to use it here. El Haddad, Caruso, but not off of the defensive line, as York once again gets a block in this one. It's 16-14.
Yeah, and that time it was Tapia, Dave, getting up. And Tapia, a very versatile volleyball player. He serves effectively, good offensively, and good with the digs as well. So very effective player for the Cardinals.
Tisby plays this one first. Shemuel Authors comes in and puts one over. Dug out by Rodriguez, and then off the CSI defense, Tapia gets himself another kill, and York has opened up a 3-point lead.
Yeah, you know, Dave, at the conclusion of the first set, the Dolphins rode momentum toward the end of the game. Now the Cardinals find themselves up by 3. Big point for the Dolphins.
Sent to the back line, too far over, and that one is out of play. So again, the Dolphins getting the benefits of a York error to get service back. And I believe we might be up to the top of the order. Actually, it's Jay Guo who will do the honors. Jump serve, and it is short, way short, and that one gives it back to York. So CSI really can't afford to give away points here as they are down by 3 in the late stages of set number 2. We'll see if the Dolphins can get it back. It will have to be off the serve of Akil Vaughn. Vaughn with 15 aces this season for York. That one handled clean by Tisby. It's Liang off the defense and out of play, so the Dolphins get the kill from Liang. Down by just 2, Steven Caruso. Deceptively good server, Mike, with that left hand. There's another line drive towards the back. Handle clean. Tapia off the defense. Dolphins keeping it up. They need to send it over. They do. Nice job. And the original dig by Tisby. Nursing it over was Tapia. Dolphins again field clean. Liang placing it over, getting enough of the tape. And the Dolphins able to cut the lead to 1.
Yeah, a couple of big plays by the Dolphins, Dave, including a diving one-handed dig in the middle of that point to draw the Dolphins to within 1.
Caruso with the serve again. York able to play it. Tapia this time from the right side, putting it right in the center of the court. And it's Herman Liu off the blocker, Tapia. So the Dolphins able to once again tie. Let's see if they can get over the hump here. Caruso, line drive serve. Does find Vaughn. Sent over by Campbell, and we have a double touch by Campbell. And that will give CSI the lead. So CSI down by 3, have scored 4 straight, and we're going to see a timeout here by York.
Yeah, and, York shooting themselves in the foot a little bit, Dave. A couple of service errors and a double touch on that last play to really help swing the momentum back. And the Dolphins doing a good job of taking advantage of some of those Cardinal mistakes, Dave. And, we were talking about the Cardinals up by 3 heading into the latest stages of the match. Well, since then, the Dolphins have been able to score, I think, 4 out of the last 5 to take a 1-point lead.
Yeah, Dolphins were actually down like 18-15, so they've scored the last 4. And they've come back here to take the lead. And, if you're the York College Cardinals, Mike, you got to get back to sound play, and it all begins with the serve, not giving the ball back to the Dolphins via the serve error.
Yeah, and, the Cardinals already finding themselves down by a score 1-0. It's the difference between taking a commanded lead and finding yourselves right back even after 2 games. So big couple of points coming up here that could go a long way to deciding this match here tonight.
And Caruso has done very well on his serve. 3 straight line drives towards the back in the vicinity of Akil Vaughn. Let's see where he goes this time as we have a whistle. And it's going to be a redo.
Yeah, I just don't think the referee signaled the ball in, Dave, so we'll just get to do it over again.
And now we do get that signal, so here comes Caruso ready to do it again. That's a line drive, too strong and out of play. So that time, the Dolphins commit the big service error and give York a little breathing room here as George has come back in for York to replace Rodriguez. So more height at the front of the net for York. And Tapia, who's been very good at the service line, comes back on it. Dumadag to El Haddad, straight back. George sends over with some help. El Haddad and Herman Liu puts one right into the waiting mitts of Carisi. He gets the block, and York has a 20-19 lead.
Yeah, the Dolphins first tried a little bit of deception at the net and then tried to go for the straight kill. The Cardinals there to take a 1-point lead. They're first to 20 here in set 2.
Tapia with a lot of spin on that ball, able to be fielded clean. Dumadag, backline attack, and just getting a piece was Carisi. It hits right back down, and now the first to 5 will win here in essentially a 0-0 game. 20-20. Liang, who's had his difficulties here, Mike, 3 errors, gets a running start. That's a good one there. And we have a whistle and a ball handling error by number 15, Larry Moore. So the Dolphins once again reaping the benefits of a York error. Get themselves a 1-point lead. Liang controls. Line drive. Campbell, nice job. Moore to George. Back line. Liang digs it out. Dolphins need to send over. They do with Dumadag. It's Moore. Straight up to George. Powers one down into open space. And York has tied it at 21.
Yeah, that time George stepped up big on the play. And, we've seen him in front of us on several plays, Dave. He likes to take it cross court from the near side over to the far. And it's a tie game at 21.
And it will be Carisi who will have the service. Bends at the knees, skies one up. Liang plays clean. El Haddad, Herman Liu, and that one's batted right back down by Moore. Nice job by Moore with the block, and York now 3 points away.
Nice play by Moore, bouncing back off of that error.
Yeah, Carisi now with another serve. That one more a line drive. El Haddad tried to put one over. York is able to play it over. Dolphins will do it over. Dumadag once again punched right back down. Dolphins want a call for going over the net. They won't get it. And York now 2 points away. They've done a really good job, Mike, blocking that CSI attack.
Yeah, and Dave, the Dolphins got themselves ahead and looked like they had a bit of momentum going, but got to give the Cardinals a lot of credit. They stuck with it in this game and took a 2-point lead and put themselves in a very strong position. Obviously, the next point, a key point in the game for the Dolphins.
And no doubt about it, Mike, even though both of these teams really with not much to play for as far as playoff implications, they're playing with everything on the line here tonight.
Yeah, Dave, we mentioned it a little bit in the pregame show. You come into these games and you want to play well and you want to build on momentum. And for the Cardinals, it's the last game of the season. For the Dolphins, it's their best chance at a win in the last 4 matches, but an opportunity to get that second win in the conference. So big game for both teams, and got to give a lot of credit to both teams coming out here playing very hard. 2 very good sets here so far.
Yeah, a lot of activity by both teams here as Caruso plays that one right at the back line. Dumadag with a back line attack. That one's dug out clean. And this is George getting into one. It's off the fingertips, and Dumadag could not control, and York now 1 point away. They've led by 3 before, and the Dolphins have come back. Let's see what the Dolphins can do here with their backs up against the wall. Carisi will serve it straight up in the air. It's Tisby to El Haddad. Back to Dumadag, and that time he did have space, and he put that one straight down. Dolphins cut the lead to 2.
Yeah, he came flying up to the net on the far side. A nice cross-court kill to bring the Dolphins to within 2.
And that time Moore didn't have help at the front to try and block that one down, so the Dolphins able to utilize the motion. Herman Liu puts one on the back line. This is York's opportunity. It's George straight down right in front of Liu for the 25th and deciding point. And York has tied this one up at 1 set apiece, a 25-22 victory over the College of Staten Island.
Yeah, big win that time by the Cardinals, who found themselves down 19-18, but come out and pull out the win in the second set, 25-22. A huge swing match, Dave. It guarantees that we're going to go at least 4 sets, something you were talking about a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and just remember that CSI is 0 for the season in sets that have gone more than 3 sets. They're 0 for 3 in any match that has gone either 4 or 5 sets. So that's playing into York's hands at this point. And, Mike, it's going to be interesting because you said that the Dolphins kind of rode momentum into that first victory. Now they're going to have to pick themselves off the mat for this one and get themselves ready for a big set 3.
Yeah, and Dave, Dolphins had a couple opportunities at the end of that set, a couple of service errors, which obviously unforced errors. And then I thought there was a play at the back with Caruso, Dave, when the Cardinals were serving late in the game where that ball might have ridden out of bounds, but Caruso chose to play it, and it led to a Cardinal kill at the net that helped expand their lead and help the Cardinals go to a win in the second set.
Yeah, and you could see that what the York College frontline attack is doing, Mike. You mentioned Frederis Tapia. He's got 9 kills, Akeem George with 8, and Akeel Vaughn with 7. That's been the 1-2-3 punch. And when you're mixing their blocks in they really are the ones getting it done here for York.
Yeah, the Cardinals credited with 8 blocks in that second game, and, they were able to ride that to victory. And it's been a couple of very good matches here, Dave, to start the set here tonight, and big pivotal game number 3, or set number 3, I should say, coming up right here.
Yeah, big swing game here for both sides. Took a look at York's statistics. We could tell you that CSI is being led by Christian Dumadag with 8 kills and 17 attacks. Might want to get him a little bit more involved there. And then 5 kills for Michael Liang and 4 for Herman Liu. Dolphins with only 1 team block in the game. That was a solo by Shemuel Arthurs. But that's really been their deficiency, and that's been where York has been able to take advantage on the defensive side against CSI's attack.
Yeah, and Dave, you look at both sets here today, and it's been a back and forth game really within both sets, and no team really able to come out and establish dominance. If you're the Cardinals, you have to like the way you finished set number 2.
Yep, absolutely. The Dolphins will have the first serve in this third set, so that hopefully will play into their advantage. They're hoping get them off to a better start than they did in the second set. The lineups look very similar to the opening game between these two. James Yee is back into the game for the Dolphins. Jay Guo, who started game 2, is back in for game 3. On the bench is Herman Liu and Steven Caruso and Shemuel Arthurs. For York, equal in their starting lineup. First serve, Tapia hits down and gets it over onto the waiting hands of El Haddad, who could not corral it.
So Tapia with already 13 kills, Dave, in the first 2 sets, gets off to a good start for the Cardinals here in set number 3.
And so the Cardinals now able to play. The Dolphins have to scramble to get it over. They do. York trying to do the same, but Manji set one up, couldn't find the partner to slam it down, and so score is tied at 1. Tapia plays clean on the back line, setting it up and powered down off the CSI defense, but that will count as a kill for number 6, Akil Vaughn. That's his 8th of the game.
Yeah, the Cardinals starting to play a little bit more effectively out in front and starting to try to take advantage of their height.
It will be Akeem George doing the serving, played by Liang, who's now the libero for the Dolphins. And we have a block error called on York. That will count as a kill for James Yee, and the Dolphins have officially tied it. And we get Rodriguez back into the game for George.
The Dolphins went with 10 players in their second game. They won the first game with a lineup of just 7, so some interesting coaching going on for the Dolphins.
Yep. Yee will be the one to serve it. Rodriguez plays clean. Campbell looking across court, powered down. Nice job that time by Nico Little. His first kill of the game gives York their first lead here of the third set, 3-2. Second lead of the third set, I should say. Little will be the one to serve it. It's played by the Dolphins backwards, but El Haddad played it twice off his fingertips, and York with a quick 4-2 lead.
Yeah, that was the Dolphins that time charged with the touch error.
Little controls, puts one just over the tape. Dolphins play it. Tyru Diamond, but too far down the sideline, missed the open space. So 5-2 now, York with the early lead.
Yeah, good start for the Cardinals, riding on their momentum from their last set win.
Little puts one over. Guo, El Haddad back to Guo. Powering down, finding real estate, but Nico Little able to dig that one out. Tapia off the defensive fingertips, and York now with another point, and it's 6-2.
Yeah, and we're here at the start of the third set, Dave. Probably for the first time tonight, Cardinals dominating a little bit up in the front, causing the Dolphins a lot of problems. Let's see how the Dolphins can respond.
It was a nice defensive play by Little too on that dig off of the Zebin Guo kill, as the York powers to another point there. And again, all of these points almost exclusively being won at the front of the line, or the front of the net, I should say. And York's got themselves a 5-point lead. Matches their biggest of the game in either of the 2 sets.
Yeah, Dave, and really for the first time tonight, the Cardinals really starting to get a little bit of momentum and really establishing things. They were able to open the lead up on the Dolphins to finish the second set, and they've come out very strong here in the third set. The Dolphins have been very effective at digging out a lot of the Cardinal kill attempts, but here so far in set number 3, the Cardinals very effective, setting the ball up quickly and then killing it for the point.
Yeah, very good point. York will have the service here as they continue to do. And that one they give back. Again, it's been one of the tough points of this York team is the service error. But again, Mike, a nice little run there, upset there by the serve error. York controls. Campbell has to just get one over. He does. El Haddad with a quick turnaround kill, and he's able to score that one. So the Dolphins now move to within 3.
Yeah, you know, David, you mentioned the service error. Dolphins with 6 service errors in that second game, including one of the biggest swing points at the end of the game.
Rodriguez plays one backpedaling. York is able to continue to control. Tapia does well to finish it. Over on the Dolphin side, Zemin Guo will have a chance to put it over. York continuing to power it back down. The Dolphins doing very well to get that one over. Tapia will now get a hand on it, and he's able to put it against the CSI defense for the point.
Yeah, that was a helter-skelter point there for a while, but the Cardinals kept their composure, fed it into Tapia, and he killed it home for another point. So Cardinals now double up the Dolphins, 8-4 here in the third set.
And so it will be Vaughn serving. Dolphins play it. Herman Liu has it bounced right back into his end. And Adil El Haddad able to put one into open space. And that's what the Dolphins are going to have to try and do, Mike, is catch that front line off guard because they've been blocking just about everything.
Yeah, that was a nice play that time by El Haddad to just lob that ball into the center of the floor for the point.
Now it's York's turn to try and get some offense going, and putting it right on the tape is Tapia. Good job by Tapia to recognize some open space. And it's now 9-5 in favor of York as George comes back in for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Tapia has been getting more and more effective as this match has gone on.
Line drive serve, able to be corralled by the Dolphins. It's Dumadag. Puts one up over top in front of us, and that one took a bad hop right onto our table here. But that will be a point no matter what for the Dolphins, who have now cut this to 9-5. Herman Liu will do the honors. Right-handed serve, right in the middle of the court. Campbell, this is George. Dug out nicely and straight over by Liu. It's Moore over to George, and the Dolphins able to keep it alive initially, but that one will fall into open space, and York once again up by 4.
Yeah, the Cardinals starting to get very aggressive up at the net. They've really it's been one pass and a kill for the Cardinals here in this third set.
El Haddad sets that one up. Diamond just getting it over, and Tapia doing great to catch up to that one. Dolphins will try again. It's Dumadag. Tapia once again with the dig and over. El Haddad running start. No one there for the Dolphins. They scramble to put it over. They do. Same way for the Cardinals. El Haddad back to Yee off the defensive line and out of play. And that will be a point for the CSI Dolphins.
Big point there for the Dolphins that time as Yee's able to drill it right into the center of the Cardinal defense for the point.
Adil El Haddad. As we go back to the start of the rotation for both teams. Dolphins down by 3. Scrambling to get to it, playing it over, but here's the Dolphins. Can they use it to their advantage? It's Dumadag, but he can't get it over as he's interrupted by the tape. And so now it'll be 11-7 in favor of CSI.
Yeah, so that time it looked like a pretty good setup, but the Dolphins, Dumadag can't complete the play, and Cardinals out in front in this third set by 4.
CSI offense coming aboard with Dumadag. And once again able to cut it up to 3.
Big point that time by the Dolphins. A big swing in the game to cut the Cardinal lead down to 3. Let's see if they can build up a little momentum here.
Dolphins, of course, trying to string together points. They've gotten them in one, maybe two at a time, but they really haven't been on that run. And there's a missed opportunity there as the serve given back to York as Dumidag simply missed it.
Yeah, Dolphins starting to get a little bit careless on the serves, Dave. Gave up over 20% of the points in set number 2 on service errors. Need to cut that down a little bit.
El Haddad, now Jay Guo getting into one. That one's held up in the rafters. York doing very well to catch up to that one. Great teamwork by the Cardinals. El Haddad to Diamond. He puts one across court. Manji's able to put it back down. That one just goes over. CSI once again with their offense. And now Guo powers one down. Nice job by Jay Guo right in front of George for the kill.
Nice exciting volley on that play, Dave. Both teams making a good couple of plays before Guo comes in for the kill and cuts the Cardinal lead down to 3.
So James Yee will have the serve now. Dolphins unable to get consecutive points here at the top of their rotation. Let's see if Yee can cut into this lead further. Campbell plays over completely. The Dolphins send it back, and we are going to have a kill error by number 6, Akil Vaughn, whose feet went under the net, interrupted the CSI offense. So Dolphins now with 2 straight points. It's 12-10. Yee, line drive to Campbell. Manji puts one up. Tapia sends back down. Dumidag with the dig. Diamond right down the sideline for the kill for the Dolphins.
And the Dolphins continued to fight back. The Cardinals came out strong here in the 3rd set, but the Dolphins doing a nice job to cut the Cardinal lead down to 1.
And Tyroo Diamond listed at 5'10" in our program. Certainly gets up to kill those down. Manji played by James Yee via the dig, sent back over Dumidag. York keeps it alive. Dumidag with another dig. El Haddad, Herman Liu gets caught up in the front line. York keeps it alive, sent over. Yee sets it up to El Haddad, to Jay Guo, and that one is powered right down by Vaughn and Little. And so York back up by 2.
Yeah, nice play that time by Vaughn right at the near side of the net. Dolphins will look at a tie. Instead, the Cardinals retake a 2-point lead.
And Little with the serve. He served York to a few straight points last time. Diamond puts one up, kept alive by Rodriguez. Tapia, Manji sends it over. Dumidag, El Haddad, Diamond once again, and catching enough of the tape to send it spinning in for the Dolphins' point.
Yeah, Dolphins doing a nice job here, Dave, in this 3rd set, stabilizing the game a little bit, breaking the Cardinal momentum, and now serving with a chance to tie the game.
And Tyroo Diamond, who only had 5 attacks in the game to date, has been very active. This is Tapia, and he puts one off the CSI defense for a kill that time. He's been very active as well. 14-12. Tapia came into this game 3 with 9 kills against just 2 errors. Good ratio there for him. El Haddad over to Liu, puts one at the back of the line, and Rodriguez was able to get a wave on it, but sends it out of bounds. So Dolphins again cut to 1. We had a feeling coming in this would be a good one. On paper, the teams match up pretty evenly. That's what we've gotten so far. Jump serve there for Guo. More controls. Tapia straight back down off the fingertips of Guo for the York point.
Yeah, Tapia's been very effective, Dave, especially over the last couple of sets. And, you know, when the Cardinals need a point and they've served it up to him, he's been very effective and very efficient for the Cardinals.
He's got 15 kills in the match so far, and he's serving now. El Haddad to Liu. It is blocked, but out of bounds, so that will be a point for the Dolphins.
Yeah, that time Moore was able to get up and get both hands on the ball, Dave, but not able to direct it onto the floor. So once again, the Dolphins have closed to within 1.
That's got to be something that head coach Larry Yang is telling his team too, is making sure they don't attack the ball straight on, to do it sideways so you get better deflections. Meanwhile, York catching the CSI defense off guard with a quick point into open space is York getting adjusted here on the court. Dolphins down by 2. They've been able to come back a number of times, and that time, unfortunately, the bad English for Carisi as the ball went back into him. So the Dolphins will have service again, down by 1, back up to the top of the order. This is their 3rd time around. El Haddad just over. Campbell gets a wave on it. George, Vaughn, sent over. Dolphins could use this to their advantage. It's Diamond out of bounds. Nice block by York, but it's too far over the sideline, and the Dolphins finally have come all the way back to tie. Looking to get over the hump here.
Yeah, that time George got his hands on the ball but couldn't keep it in play.
Tapia controls at first. Moore keeps it alive. George puts it over. See if the Dolphins can take advantage. El Haddad cross court to Dumadag. He babies it over into open space. Nice thought there by Christian Dumadag.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play that time. He didn't have much space in between the defender Moore and the near sideline. Able to get it just over Moore, just inside the line. Dolphins regain the lead.
Dolphins' first lead in forever as Adil El Haddad puts it over. George off the CSI defense, and now York is able to tie.
And just like the first 2 games before, Dave, this one going right down to the wire. The teams tied in the late teens, so the game will get decided here in the last 8 points.
Yeah, York at one time led 7-2 in this one. Dolphins have already used 1 timeout. They only have 1 left. Sent up, and that was too far. And York will get the lead back here by 1. As that one took El Haddad by surprise. Manji will have the service. Running start, puts one on the back line. El Haddad catches up to it. Diamond will have a turn, puts it on the back line to Campbell. Kept alive. George sends one over, and the Dolphins try to keep it alive but cannot. And York takes a 2-point lead.
Yeah, nice power move that time by George. As you mentioned, Dave, Dolphins just unable to keep it alive. And, you know, the game was close at the end of the second set. York pulled away. Let's see what the Dolphins' answer here is in set 3.
Yeah, big volley this time here as Liang keeps it up. Diamond backline attack and found some open space there. Campbell was too far back. Tried to catch up to it, could not. And the Dolphins will have it back. Christian Dumadag will have control. His team down by 1. Another big service here for the Dolphins. Cross court, Campbell controls. Manji over to Vaughn. Off the CSI defensive line, kept alive. Guo puts it into open space right in front of the defense. And the Dolphins able to tie again.
Yeah, and that time, Dave, the whole front of the net in front of us just was wide open, and Dolphins saw it and took advantage of it to score the last 2 points and tie this match up, or set up, I should say, at 19.
Yeah, good communication that time here as York has used their first timeout of the 3rd set to tie this one up. Mike, while we have a little bit of a reprieve, we'll introduce the fact that volleyball really the only team playing at this point because of the weather outside.
Yeah, you know, it's been really so tough on the spring sports, and it's so frustrating, you know, in talking with the players on the baseball team and the softball team, just the level of frustration of just being unable to play game after game. Both teams with games canceled yesterday. The men's baseball game already out for tomorrow afternoon. Thursday looks very iffy for softball, and, you know, again, it's just unable to get any momentum going, Dave, and it's really unfortunate because it really kind of breaks into the momentum of the season for all of these teams, and they're going to end up playing really every day in May, or in April, I should say.
More on that in between games 3 and 4. Meanwhile, back to live action, and that time Vaughn is able to power that one down and give York another lead here, modest one, 20-19. This is where they separated themselves a little bit in game 2. Let's see if York can finish the job here in game 3. It's George with the serve. Dumadag, poor pass to start. Jay Guo puts one up, and it's going to be off the antenna, which is automatically out of bounds. So York now with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, 2 quick points there by the Cardinals.
George with a quick serve. It's short, and it will not make it over. So CSI would do wise here to use this one to their advantage. The serve by James Yee upcoming.
Yeah, if you remember, Dave, late in set 2, the Cardinals had a service error, and the Dolphins responded with a service error on the very next serve. Let's see what they could do here.
Yee puts it on the back line to Rodriguez. Manji across the Tapia. He got open space, and he's been deadly when he comes open. He helps regain the Cardinals' 2-point lead.
Yeah, Tapia, the kind of player that seems to do everything well, Dave, and everything efficiently, and another big point for him.
Unofficially his 16th kill of the match. El Haddad backwards to Diamond, and that one is off the fingertips of Carisi and in play. So the Dolphins again cut the lead to 1, 22-21, and Diamond will have the serve. Hasn't served a great deal this season. Left-handed serve ends up on the back line. Here comes CSI able to build their attack again. It's Guo. Tried to baby that one over, and it is going to be knocked down by Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn was close on that one, Dave, but able to get his hand up on the ball, make a very nice play on it to give the Cardinals a 2-point lead in this huge swing third set here in the match.
Yeah, the Dolphins are out of timeouts. They've just used their second one. And Mike, getting back to what you were saying about the outdoor sports, softball also canceled tomorrow. They were supposed to be on the road against Purchase College, so that's been negated. Thursday's games, as you mentioned, CSI is scheduled to play against William Patterson. As of yesterday, William Patterson had 6 inches of snow on their field. So that's going to be up in the air. We'll see if all that moisture is able to dissipate because, Mike, as we speak right now, it's still kind of misting here. And, you know, we kind of said it before the games, talking about the outdoor sports, it's not until you really get 2 or 3 or 4 solid continuous days of good weather will you not just be able to play, but really play in decent conditions.
Yeah, you know, it's been so tough and so cold and so rainy. You know, we had a little bit of a reprieve for softball over the weekend, and the men were able to squeeze a game in on the road as well. Oh, actually, it was a home game not played at CSI, but, just no momentum for either team since coming off of their preseason road trips.
Yeah, CSI Baseball hasn't played a game on their field at all. The women were able to sneak a few in this weekend. Meanwhile, the Dolphins have cut this one to 1. Guo puts one up, shallow center court. Dolphins able to keep it alive. El Haddad with a chance to kill, and he does get it off of the defense. And the Dolphins have tied this one up with 2 straight following the timeout.
Yeah, big timeout there by the Dolphins, and now looking to get themselves to set point.
One of their better servers, too. Jay Guo puts one up. It's Moore up to Tapia. And Diamond able to put one back, and it's off the rafters and onto York's side, so that's automatically a point for York, as you cannot use the infrastructure to aid in a point. And so it's now set point for York. It would help give them a 2-1 set lead. Tapia, line driver, goes right over. York sends it back. Dolphins trying to scramble to keep it alive. They do. It's Vaughn. Moore with a touch, and York cannot catch up to it as Vaughn was backpedaling. And so it might take 26 points to decide this one. It's 24 apiece.
Well, we know it's going to take at least 26, Dave, and a nice job by the Dolphins to come back and tie the game up.
Herman Liu, back line. Vaughn decides to play it. Moore tried to send it over. It was knocked back, and that's going to be a ball handling error for York. And so now the Dolphins, just like that, are a point away, and York is going to use their final timeout.
So York actually got to set point here, Dave. The Dolphins able to defend and fight off that set point, and now the Dolphins have swung the score around, scored the last 2 points, and have put themselves 1 point away from taking a 2-1 lead in this match.
Yeah, and whoever ends up losing this set, Mike, is also going to have to pick themselves up from a tough defeat. It's hard to lose that swing game by such a close margin and get yourself up for set number 4.
Yeah, and Dave, as we're watching these teams, it's 2 different real styles of teams. A Dolphin team a little smaller, moving the ball around a little bit more. Cardinal team most effective when they're driving the ball right at the net. So it's been a good, exciting couple of couple of sets here, and the Dolphins serving now for the set in number 3.
With the set on the line, here's Herman Liu. Putting it on the back line, Campbell first touch. It's Moore over to George. Off the fingertips of defense. Dolphins able to keep it alive. They'll get an attack out of this. It's Dumadag. Sent back down by York, but kept alive by the Dolphins. Sent straight over. Here comes York now, building their attack. It's Tapia. Cross court to George. A spinning ball that time. Sent over. James Yee powered it down. Dolphins will get another chance. Sent once again back to CSI side. Dumadag off the fingertips. Kept alive by York. Chance for their offense. It's George, and he cannot get it. That was a poor set that time by Moore, and the Dolphins come out with a 26-24 entertaining win in set number 3.
Yeah, Dave, it was the kind of point that was fitting to decide the match of a 25-24 game. The ball went back and forth. A couple of nice defensive plays by both teams before the Dolphins ultimately able to come back and score the victory in set number 3, Dave. Nice comeback, come from behind victory, a set that the Dolphins were able to stave off set point and be successful on their set point opportunity to take a 2-1 lead.
So the Dolphins win the first set 25-18. York responds with a 25-22 win in the second, and the Dolphins come from behind to score a 26-24 win in set number 3. Set 4 coming up in just a few moments. So, Mike, we'll set up CSI Sportsnet for the rest of the week. Obviously, weather permitting. On Friday, we will be outside. We will take the CSI women's softball team against Farmingdale State at 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. That is obviously a remake from the games that were lost on Monday. And then, Mike, CSI Sportsnet will do the near impossible. We'll get up all of our equipment, we'll hightail it out of softball, and we'll be back inside for CSI men's volleyball, a twilight triple header, if you will, as it is men's volleyball senior night, and we will cover the senior day festivities for CSI men's volleyball. So it should be a very entertaining day for CSI Sportsnet. And then, Mike, you hate to even map out the weekend because there may be some rain in the forecast as well. But on Saturday and Sunday, we'll be home for baseball. Saturday, baseball is supposed to host SUNY Maritime for a doubleheader. And then on Sunday, a makeup against John Jay College for a doubleheader, a CUNY doubleheader on Sunday. The women's softball doubleheader scheduled against New Jersey City University was canceled by New Jersey City because they have a conference commitment, Mike. They are trying to get that game made up in late April. But
you're killing me here, Dave. You're killing me.
The dominoes are officially falling weather-wise, and our schedule is all out of whack. So people depend on us to let them know what's going on, and that's our plan for the week and the weekend. But a lot can change between now and then.
Yeah, and, we certainly hope that the weather gets good and, that the teams can start getting some games in here. And, I know that the men are dying to get out on the field. Not, as you mentioned, Dave, not a single game played at home yet. And the girls with just a couple of doubleheaders in, they've been getting rained out since before they went on the road with their opening tri-match that they were going to have against some very good competition, NYU, and I forgot who the other team was, Dave.
FDU.
And, FDU. And, again, hopefully we're coming to the end of the bad weather and we can get these games underway.
Yeah, and the other thing to add to all this with the bad weather and why it's impactful so much this week, especially, Mike, is that it is spring break for all of the athletes at CSI. So this is the week where there are no classes. They're at liberty to play early or late or double headers if need be, and so to see it get washed away at a time where really everything else is idle around here, that's really the wasteful part of it all.
Yeah, no doubt.
So CSI opens up with the first point here in set number 4. They have a 2-1 set lead, able to close it out here. We'll see if they're successful in doing that. It is Vaughn who has one sent back onto his side. George with a running attack, sends it on the back line. Played well by the Dolphins, and we'll have a set error on Dumadag, so York will be able to knot things up via the CSI error.
And, it's going to be interesting, Dave. You mentioned toward the end of the match how the at the end of the set, I should say, how the losing team would react. Let's see how the Cardinals come out here early in this fourth set.
Dolphins send one over, once again popped right back over CSI's side. Dolphins able to scramble to get it over. Tapia now offensively puts one into some open space and gives York the lead.
Yeah, and Tapia continuing to play very well here for the Cardinals. 17 kills, Dave, for Tapia.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. When you mix in what he's done on the back of the line as well, he's truly been York's player of the game in this one. Meanwhile, George sends one too strong and out of play, so CSI will get the service back. But just keeping it on Tapia, he only has 4 digs credited to him and a couple of block errors, but he's just been very active with his passing back there as well, and his service has been good. Officially on the board with 1 ace in the game as well. And that one put on the sideline and just in play by Diamond, so CSI gets the lead back in their favor, 3-2.
Yeah, he didn't get all of that one, Dave. I'm not sure he hit it exactly the way he wanted to, but very effective as it lands inside the near baseline as the Dolphins regain the lead.
Dumadag with a running start. Back line to Campbell, to Manji, to Tapia. Kept alive by Dumadag. El Haddad back over to Dumadag, and that one's too far out, as he did not hit that one well, and it's 3-3.
Yeah, that time he shanked the ball a little bit as well, Dave, and Cardinals trying to come back and tie this match up. Dolphins looking for their second conference win of the year.
Yeah, Dumadag is one of those players who will do a lot of attacking from the back line as well. Tricky in that way, as Diamond now puts one up. Dolphins want a call, and they are going to get a block error called on York. Dolphins get the lead back 4-3.
Yeah, I'm not sure which player cascaded into the net that time for the Cardinals. At least one of them did, maybe 2, and the Dolphins pick up the point.
So James Yee will do the serving here. Gets the right hand into it, puts it on Tapia. It's going to go back to Tapia. Dolphins defense is there. They're able to turn this into offense here. Jay Guo unimpeded, so straight shot out of bounds. And it is out of play. Dolphins didn't like the call, but no one touched it for York, as Moore will work his way back into the game.
Yeah, all 4 sets here so far, Dave, they've all been close. No teams going out to big, huge leads in this one.
Short serve is able to get put over. Diamond has to catch up to that one and settles to put one over. York trying to use it for offense. Sent over, but out. So neither team looking very comfortable on that last volley.
Yeah, that not the best point for either team, but the Dolphins will take it, Dave, as they edge out in front by a point once again, 5-4.
So Diamond with that left hand of his will look to get into another one. And that's a line drive straight into the net, so there's an error, and York will get the benefits of tying this one up here as we have another substitution as George will come back in for Rodriguez.
And now what the Dolphins are looking for there, Dave.
Unforced errors. Serve errors are always unforced errors. Diamond now puts one off the top of the tape, and unfortunately Moore could do nothing with that one as that one was coming in right off the top of the net. And Dolphins will get it back here with Guo doing the serving.
Yeah, a couple of points for Diamond here, Dave, in this 4th set, and that gives the Dolphins a 1-point lead once again.
Off the back line, York having to send it over. They do. Dumadag first touch. Dolphins with a back line attack, kept alive by York. This will be George. Two-handed attack. Dolphins able to control. Dumadag putting one up, and a host of York Cardinals trying to get to that. Thought Tapia might have gotten the brunt of that one there, as he might have hit his face on the ground, but he seems to be okay. That's good news for York. Dolphins with their first 2-point lead of this match, 7-5. Guo puts one on to Vaughn on the back line. This is George powering up, and that one is hit back down. Herman Liu and Adil El Haddad combining on the block.
Yeah, a couple of nice plays by the Dolphins, giving them their largest lead of this 4th set. A little bit of frustration by the Cardinals. They need to bounce back with a point here.
So Guo once again with a running start, puts one over. That's on Vaughn. Moore to George. Put right back over by the Dolphins. Nice job by Diamond. It's Moore. Carisi dug out by Liang. Dumadag off the fingertips of Carisi. And the Dolphins have now opened up a 9-5 lead.
Yeah, Diamond continuing to have a strong set here, Dave. He helped save that ball and allowed Dumadag to get the point. Dolphins have their biggest lead of the fourth set.
Dolphins with a chance here to double up on York. Carisi, and that time puts it in front of Diamond. He can't catch up to it, and York has now cut it down to 3. Carisi will do the serving here for York. No aces, no errors in this one for Carisi. Dumadag with the first touch. Guo back over to Dumadag, and that's where he's at his strength, Mike, right? 6 to 7 feet off of the net, and he's able to put that one home for a kill.
Yeah, he's been very effective all afternoon, Dave, doing that for the Dolphins.
10-6 is our score. Herman Liu will come in, puts the right hand into it. Tapia with first touch. George sending it down and right through the hands of Herman Liu. So York once again cutting it down to 3.
Yeah, Dolphins trying to edge their way out to a substantial lead, but as has been the case all night, Dave, neither team really able to blow open any of these sets.
Manji has checked back in for York, and he will serve for the Cardinals. Gets a jump into it. El Haddad to Yi, powered back down. CSI will have to reset and do it again. Dumadag's attack was blocked down. And there's a kill attempt for Diamond. Sprawling effort by Campbell to get it over. Dumadag again, blocked down that time by Vaughn. And number 11, Nico Little. And that front of the line for York has been outstanding tonight.
Yeah, they really have, Dave. The Dolphins had 4 kill attempts on that point, and they couldn't get a single one to go. And a big point of the game, instead of Dolphins going up by 4, the Cardinals closed to within 2.
Yeah, 4 kill attempts, and 3 never even made it over the net. That's how powerful York has been. There's another one that's sent back down. Bodies flying everywhere. The Dolphins able to scramble and get it over. Manji now sets up to George. Off the CSI attack. They can turn it into offense. Diamond, backline attack, can't get it over. And now York has cut the lead to 1.
And, Dave, we mentioned a couple of times both teams really out here playing for pride. On a couple of points ago, you saw 4 York Cardinals on the floor after one ball. A couple of Dolphins hitting the floor on that play. Both teams going at it as hard as they can.
And that's another block for the York Cardinals. I wonder what their team high is for blocks in a game this season, but boy, oh boy, their team blocks have been outstanding here tonight. Two solo blocks and 14 assists for York tonight. Dumadag sends that one over in this tie game. York's ability to put it into offense. Liang with the dig. Dumadag puts that one too far. And, Mike, that's what happens when you get that many blocks. Now you're trying to go over the line and sending it over everyone.
Exactly. The Cardinal pressure forced Dumadag to go a little bit higher, and he couldn't keep it on the floor.
5 straight points for York. Dolphins keeping it alive. What a nice job by Diamond. York continuing with it. George tries to put it into open space, and that one did hit the ground. So Dolphins a little late to it. And we have a timeout, and that's a timeout that was well needed. York with 6 straight points, and they've taken a 12-10 lead.
Yeah, the Dolphins were riding momentum, Dave. They had a 4-point lead, and it's been the Cardinals at the net defending the Dolphin kill attempts. That one big point where the Dolphins had 4 kill attempts, but the Cardinals came away with the point, and since then they've been able to ride momentum and take a 2-point lead.
All right, so that sets us up here. The Dolphins have used 1 timeout. York still has both of theirs. Dolphins with 1 timeout left here in this one. Dolphins are up 2-1. They won sets 1 and 3. This is the final CUNY game for both of these teams this season. Trying to get a final on some other games maybe. Yeah, Baruch has beaten Brooklyn College, so Baruch is going to finish their season 7-1 and in second place. First round bye. For Brooklyn, they finished 5-3.
And it's been the Cardinals here in the middle stages of this fourth set with a 2-point lead. Dolphins looking to come back.
So Adil El-Haddad puts one over top, and that's going to be a whistle against El-Haddad. So now York with their biggest lead here of the set, 3 points, 14-11. El-Haddad up for Dumadag, and that one's powered down. Tapia sends one down. Dolphins have to scramble to keep it in play. This their third hit. They do keep it in play. Rodriguez almost mishandles. Campbell has to send it over. He does. It's out of play, and the Dolphins get themselves a point via the York error, and we are tied at 19.
Yeah, I thought that ball that Rodriguez played in the back, they might have gone over the end line, but the Dolphins stick with it and come away with the point to tie up the set.
Diamond puts one over. It's more the pass to Tapia, dug out by Diamond. El-Haddad to Guo, and that one's over everyone and out of play, and York takes back the 1-point lead.
Yeah, that time Guo going for the kill, tried to put it over that big York College front line and couldn't get the ball inbounds. Cardinals first to 20.
Tapia with the serve. El-Haddad to Lou, bounced right back onto CSI's side. It's Diamond skying one up to the back line. It's Vaughn and Moore and George, and he puts it on his own side, and that will be a attack error that will tie the game up at 20.
Yeah, George has been liking those cross-court kills all game long, that time not getting it over the net. 20-20.
Jump serve by Guo, handled by York. Dolphins able to put it back, and that's going to go out of play. That's going to be given to York, so they're up by one again, 21-20. The Dolphins were hoping that ball went off of George. Denied on the appeal. Carisi will be the server. Liang first touch. El-Haddad. Dumadag off of the fingertips of Vaughn. Nice point there by Dumadag. And it ties the score up at 21.
Yeah, aggressive kill that time by Dumadag. Dolphins down by a point at the time. He went for it, he got it, and ties the game up at 21.
17th kill for Christian tonight. 21 apiece here with Herman Lube the serving. Vaughn to Moore. This is going to be George. Babies it over, sent right back over by the Dolphins. It is Vaughn and straight into the net, and the Dolphins have regained control, 22-21, and we have a timeout that is called by York. It's their first timeout of the fourth set.
You know, Diamond's had a real strong set here, Dave, in this fourth set. That time a diving save on the ball to keep the ball in play and allow the Dolphins to take a 1-point lead. If you remember in set number 3, the Cardinals led 24-23, but couldn't close the door as the Dolphins were able to come back and win 26-24. Here the Dolphins now with a 1-point lead, 22-21, as they look to close out the set and the match and win their second conference game of the year.
Yeah, you mentioned the strong play of Diamond. He has got 11 kills against just 4 errors in 26 attacks, so he's performed very admirably. He's also added 5 digs into the equation as well. And Christian Dumadag with 17 kills and 13 digs. And Herman Liu with a chance here to lead CSI through this final wave and a chance to give CSI the win. And that one is short and given back. So once again, another unforced error ties the game here at 22.
Yeah, and you remember that, Dave, in the set the Dolphins lost, a big service error. Swung the ball back to the Cardinals. Let's see if they can take advantage of the Dolphins service error here in the fourth set.
El-Haddad back to Dumadag, puts that one on the back line, sent right back over. The Dolphins will redo it. It's James Yee spinning one in for the kill. Nice job by Yee, who's got 7 kills against just 1 error. And the Dolphins are now just 2 points away from taking the match here. El-Haddad back at the top of the rotation, doing the serving. Jump serve for El Haddad, puts it on the back line. Manji sets up for Vaughn, and he just destroys that one for a York point, 23 apiece.
Yeah, that time York playing the way they do it best. Short passes, Dave, up in the front of the net for the quick kill have been the Cardinals' most efficient way of scoring here tonight.
And it's George who will do the serving here for York. That's 2 points away. El Haddad, the pass to Diamond, and he just flubs that one. He wanted it a little bit higher, and it's 24-23, and now York with set point. A chance to tie the match at 2 sets apiece, and the Dolphins have asked for time.
And Dave, you'll remember that in the third set, the Cardinals had a 24-23 lead as well, but could not close the door. Once again, they have an opportunity to tie this match up at 2 sets apiece, as they have the set point coming up here, and they will serve.
And it will be George with the service when we get back for York. George has had a decent day today, 14 kills on his own. He's second on York's list there. Does not have any aces. It's been a nice day for a lot of players. Mentioned Christian Dumadag, 17 kills. That's the second highest of his career. He had 19 against St. Joe's earlier this season. 24-23, and that one is served straight out of bounds. So York will want to get that one back. And for the second time this evening, it will take at least 26 to decide one set.
Boy, tough way to give away set point, Dave, not getting the ball on the floor. Let's see if the Dolphins can take advantage of it.
It will be a running start for Christian Dumadag. Gets into that one and hit by Rodriguez poorly, and that'll be an ace for Dumadag. And the Dolphins are 1 point away, similar to set number 3 when they won 26-24. A chance to win it here, set and game. And it's going to be a timeout for York before that. So both teams now officially out of timeouts here. And if you're York, what are you saying?
Well, boy, Dave, you got to overcome the frustration of having an opportunity to serve for the set and not be able to get the ball on the floor. But, you know, Dave, it's been a back-and-forth match all night long. But these teams are very close together, pretty equal talent-wise. But, you know, the Dolphins found a way to stave off a set point in the third set, have done it here in the fourth set, and are now serving with an opportunity for the set in the match, leading 25-24.
So here we go. Christian Dumadag with a chance to end this here for CSI, coming off of his first ace of the afternoon. He'll get a running start here. Puts a right hand into it. Campbell with the first play. Manji over to Tapia, and it's sent back. And the Dolphins, how fitting is that, Mike? They've been victimized by the blocks all night long. They get one to end this.
Yeah, and they got one against one of the more efficient players of the Cardinals on Tapia. A nice block for the Dolphins at the net. You know, they haven't had a lot of blocks all night long, but pick a great time to get one. Come back from 2 consecutive set points in 2 consecutive sets and win this match by a final of 3-1.
So the Dolphins win it 3-1. They win set 1. 25-18. They drop set 2, 25-22, but then respond with back-to-back 26-24 sets 3 and 4 to win this one. For York, they will fall to 4-21 this season, 0-8 in the CUNY Athletic Conference. And for the Dolphins, perhaps a small victory, but they will finish in 7th place in the CUNY Athletic Conference. They finished 2-6 within the CUNY, and they up their record to 6-12 with officially 4 games remaining on their schedule. So we'll be back here on Friday night. If you're a CSI men's volleyball fan, you'll want to rejoin us on Friday. It will be the final regular season home game for the Dolphins. It will also be senior night. The Dolphins will honor their 2 seniors, Ronald Tisby and Brandon Lay, who is not in attendance here tonight. Once again, they will honor their seniors. It'll be their final home game of the season, and they're playing a team that they defeated earlier this year in Purchase College. So might want to tune in for that one. Mike, we will be back on the air soon, we hope, weather permitting, outdoors, for some CSI women's softball and CSI baseball, of course, field and weather permitting. And that always reminds us to make sure that you tune in to our CSI website, CSIDolphins.com. Always the most up-to-the-second schedules are up on their respective team pages. And, of course, we have always the latest cancellations. Big night tonight, Mike, for Christian Dumadag and Tyru Diamond. The Dolphins win a nice, entertaining match for us to watch.
Yeah, they really did. And, Diamond really had a great fourth set for the Dolphins. He made a couple of huge plays early in the set. And then his diving dig might have been the turning point in that fourth set that allows the Dolphins to go on to victory. And, Dave, we talk about it all the time, how these athletes come out and play just for the love of the game. And I think you saw that out of both teams here tonight. Both teams struggling on the year, but players diving all over the floor, players giving their max effort, and the Dolphins able to come up winning 3 close sets to 1 close set for the Cardinals.
So a great night for us here to broadcast. Very entertaining for us. We hope you guys had fun with it at home as well. Once again, the CSI Dolphins, a 3-1 win in their CUNY finale against the York College Cardinals. For all of our crew here at the College of Staten Island, from Mike Babusky, I'm Dave Pizzuto, wishing you a very good evening. Join us soon on CSI Sportsnet for continuing coverage of all things CSI Athletics. CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.